So here is ADGI Adagio Therapeutics. This finishes at $11.48 today. That is down 19.04%. Please like the video, please subscribe, and catch me every weekday after market close on the Smarter Gambling Show. So here's AMC. This finishes at $29.12 today. That is up 19.1%. So this was the major runner today. Pretty much all the meme stocks were up, but AMC in particular was mooning today. This was number one on StockTwits, most active. No surprise there, it usually is. We did have some news on this, some minor news, so let's check it out. AMC Theaters eclipses box office records with Spider-Man No Way Home, achieving highest December opening night ever, and second highest opening night of all time. So yeah, the new Spider-Man movie did just come out. Apparently did really, really well. So I'm not sure how much that had to do with the big pump today, but probably had somewhat of a factor. Really can't say how much though. But yeah, that was great PR. And the apes liked it, piled in here, pumping the stock today, up 19%. Very nice. So let's go ahead and analyze here. So first of all, we have a gap up at 1650. So that's a bearish indicator. That is telling us this stock may come back down to 1650 eventually to fill that gap. Right now, it looks pretty unlikely, but in the past few months, the stock has been pulling back a lot, and it is getting more likely the more this pulls back. This also looks like a possible bear flag developing here. No confirmation yet. If this is, in fact, a bear flag, that's going to be really bad. That means the stock is probably going to break out to the downside here. So again, no confirmation yet, but looks pretty scary at the moment. This also could be a possible cup and handle. Top of the cup being 32 and the bottom being 2035. So that would be a bullish indicator that is telling us the stock may come back up to 32 to complete the cup there. And if you guys want to follow along, I have the chart in the link in the description down below. So right now this is trading between the sideways channel, the rectangle of 3090, and 2895. So if this goes to the upside, next levels of resistance would be 3090, 3195, 3365, 3480, 3605, 3760, 39, 4020, 4195, 4325, and then 4460. And there is resistance above 4460, but we're not going to discuss that right now. And if this goes to the downside, next levels of support would be 2895, 2675, 2535, 2435, 2035, 1730, 1650, and then 1410. And there is support below 1410, but we're not going to discuss that right now. So right now at this current price, 29.12, the channels to the upside and the downside are pretty wide. From 3090 to 1410, the channels are pretty wide, so expect significant price action when the stock trades between those prices, which it is right now. Anything above 3090 and below 1410, the channels are pretty decently sized, so expect a regular amount of price action once this goes past 3090 or below 1410. RSI is currently at 44, so that is a little below average, so the stock is recovering. It was below 30 not too long ago. So it's no longer in oversold and undervalued territory. And this did 144 million in volume today, which is above the average, significant volume. So this pump today was confirmed by the volume. So just my opinion, not financial advice, guys. Pretty hard to tell where this is going to go in the short term, but this does appear to be more bearish than bullish, in my opinion. We have the gap up and the possible bear flag, which are bearish indicators. The only thing really bullish on this chart here is the possible cup and handle. RSI is pretty neutral. The TA is suggesting that this is slightly bearish. And honestly, I'm not convinced about today's pump. You know, all the memes went up today, so I do expect the memes to pull back in the next few trading sessions. And this did pop on PR, the Spider-Man news. And usually when things pop on PR, they do go back down to where they were before it popped. So I'm really not convinced. I sure hope this is legit, but I'm not convinced of today's pump. If you want to go long, not financial advice, I personally would not do that, and I would not recommend that just yet. I do think this is going to pull back. Not quite sure to where, but I think it's going to come back to at least 24.35. There's some pretty strong support there. And if it breaks that, there's really no support holding it up. This can easily go back down to 20.35 and possibly even 16.50 to fill the gap. So I do think you can get a way better price than 29. You should be able to get this at around 24 and lower. So I think 24.35 is a pretty decent entry, but personally, I would wait to see if I can get this at 16.50. That'd be a very excellent entry. So I don't like the entry of 29, but I would support going long at 24.35 and lower. And if you can get this at 16.50, that'd be a great buy there. Excellent price. Not saying this won't go up. It very well may, but it just looks slightly bearish in the short term, in my opinion, and I think going long is a bit too risky here. So I'd hold off on the long side, see if you can get this for a better price. Now, if you want to go short, not financial advice, I would not do that, and I would not recommend that. This does have a lot of downside potential, but this is the meme stock, and the apes are in here, still trying to squeeze the stock. You never know what's going to happen. This is so unpredictable. I would say going short here would be a medium risk, high reward play. It could pay off pretty big, especially if it goes back down to 16.50. You know, that'd be over a 40% downside, but I just think the risk is too much here. So there are definitely better plays to go short here on. Too risky for me, but I guess if you guys want to do it, then go ahead. It's really not a bad play going short, but I just think it's way too risky, so I don't like it. But again, could pay off pretty big, so if you guys want to do it, please do that at your own risk. So congratulations to everyone who made money in the stock today, and good luck to everyone currently in the stock and to everyone looking to take a position. This is AMC. Okay, here is RIVN Rivian Automotive. This finishes at $97.70 today. That is down 10.26%. So I remember discussing this stock quite a bit when it first IPO'd not too long ago, last month. You know, it went on an incredible run at first, and if you guys recall, I warned everyone. I said, I've seen these IPOs over and over again. I already know what's going to happen. It's probably going to pull back to what it IPO'd at, which was around $100 and lower. And here we are, below $100. So just be careful in the future, guys, when it comes to IPOs. You should probably hold off until they pull back, because they usually do. So there was a reason as to why this stock sold off so much today. We had earnings, so let's check it out. Okay, so EPS was negative $12.21. That's really bad. And revenue was negative $775 million. So I'm not sure what the estimates were, but that's very terrible. We also had some news and some downgrades. So let's check it out. So the news is that Rivian plans to open a $5 billion factory in Georgia. So I'm not quite sure if that's bullish or bearish. That's a lot of money there. And Barclays lowers their price target to $115. A few things going on here, but this sell-off today was mostly due to terrible earnings. So yeah, a few things going on. So yeah, down 10.25%. So let's go ahead and analyze here. So we do have a gap down at 107. So that's a bullish indicator. That is telling us this stock should come back up to 107 eventually to fill this gap. For all of you who want to follow along, I have the link in the description down below if you want to pull up the chart. Right now, this is sitting on the support of 97.60, which it finished at today. So if this goes to the upside, next levels of resistance will be 100, 104, 107, 111, 113, 115, 118, 120, 123, 125, 128, 130, 135, 137, 140, 146, 153, 163, 172, and then the high of 179. And if this goes to the downside, next levels of support would be 95 and then 93, the all-time low, which it hit today. So right now at this current price, 97.7, the channels to the upside and the downside are pretty decently sized, so expect a good amount of price action either way this goes. However, if/when this breaks 137 to the upside, the channels start to open up and get pretty wide, so expect a significant increase in price action if/when this breaks 137. RSI is currently at 45, a little bit below average there. And this did 44 million in volume today, a significant volume, so this sell-off today was confirmed by the volume. Okay, guys, I think this one is pretty straightforward. This does appear like there is more downside potential in the short term, but you really can't go too wrong at this current price, 98 bucks. It's at the all-time low today at 93. The chart is looking pretty bullish here. It should start to bottom out pretty soon, reverse, and it should fill the gap at 107 in the relative short term. So if you want to go long, not financial advice, I think 98 is a pretty good entry. You may be able to get even lower if you wait a little bit, but I certainly couldn't blame you if you want to buy in here at 98. And if it pulls back, then you can just average down at the supports that I mentioned before. Really shouldn't go too much lower. It should start to bottom out, catch support soon, and reverse. So I would support going long at 98 and lower. Now, if you want to go short, not financial advice, I would not do that, and I would not recommend that. Doesn't make too much sense at this point. This literally hit the all-time low today. Really can't go too much lower. The chart is looking pretty bullish right now. Should come back up to 107, like I said, in the relative short term. Going short here would be a high-risk, low-reward play. Not too much downside potential, a good amount of upside potential. You'd be shorting for pennies and exposing yourself to a lot of risk here. A lot of upside risk. So, not too smart. Doesn't make too much sense. So, please don't short this, guys. That's probably going to end pretty bad. So, sorry to everyone who lost money in the stock today, but it could be a good buying opportunity, not financial advice. And good luck to everyone currently in the stock and to everyone looking to take a position. This is RIVN Rivian Automotive. So here is ADGI Adagio Therapeutics. This finishes at $11.48 today. That is down 19.04%. So we discussed this stock yesterday. It was top 10 trending on StockTwits. And today, it once again was top 10 trending on StockTwits, so we'll talk about it again. Really no news or anything to justify this price action today. I'm just going to assume this is some healthy pullback, because this did moon over 120% yesterday. So we should expect some healthy pullback here. That's what I think today's sell-off was because of. And yeah, really not much else to say, so let's go ahead and analyze here. So we do have a gap down at around 33, so that is a bullish indicator. That is telling us the stock should come back up to 33 eventually to fill that gap. Probably going to happen in the relative short term. And everyone who wants to follow along, the link to the chart is in the description down below. So right now, this is trading between the sideways channel, the rectangle of 1425 and 1015. So if this goes to the upside, next levels of resistance would be 1425, 1620, 1810, 1920, 2140, 2520, 2770, 2970, 3150, 3375, 3580, 3865, 4080, 4240, 4485, 4695, 4940, 5395, 59, and then the high of 7880. And if this goes to the downside, next levels of support would be 1015, 735, and then the low of 615. So right now at this current price, 1150, the channels to the upside and the downside are decently sized. So expect a good amount of price action either way this goes. However, if/when this breaks 49.40 to the upside, the channels open up and get pretty wide. So expect a significant increase in price action if/when this breaks 49.40. RSI is currently at 37, below average, but not quite in oversold, undervalued territory. And this did 69 million in volume today. Nice. Second largest volume day ever after yesterday. So the sell-off today was confirmed by the volume. Okay, guys, this one looks pretty straightforward, similar to Rivian, really. Chart looks really bullish right now. This was at an all-time low 2 days ago, so it really can't go too much lower, not too much downside potential. And there's a lot of upside potential here. This should fill the gap at 33 in the relative short term. From the current price here, 1150, that's about a 200% upside. So a lot of upside potential here. So therefore, if you want to go long, not financial advice, I think 1150 is an excellent entry. You may be able to get even lower, maybe 1010, but really can't go too wrong here at 1150. This looks like an easy 200% if you just hold, not financial advice. And if it pulls back, then you can just average down at the supports that I mentioned before. A lot of upside potential, not too much downside potential here. So yeah, I would support going long at 1150 and lower. And if you want to go short, not financial advice, I would not do that, and I would not recommend that. Really doesn't make too much sense. Not too much downside potential. Really can't go too much further to the downside. And again, a lot of upside potential. Going short here would be a high-risk, medium-reward play. Just not really worth it, in my opinion. Not too many tendies to be made, and you'd be exposing yourself to a lot of upside risk here. And it's probably going to end pretty bad. Probably going to end up getting squeezed out. So it doesn't make too much sense to go short here. Not too smart. So please don't do that, guys. So sorry to everyone who lost money in the stock today, but could be a good buying opportunity, not financial advice. And good luck to everyone currently in the stock and to everyone looking to take a position. This is ADGI Adagio Therapeutics. So here is NVAX Novavax. This finishes at $217.32 today. That is up 11.5%. So Novavax is one of the more popular vaccine stocks, one of the more legit ones too. This has been authorized a few places around the world. not in North America, but people are using this vaccine. So there was a reason as to why this went up so much today. We have some news, so let's check it out. So the news is that the WHO, the World Health Organization, grants the Novavax vaccine emergency use authorization. So that's pretty big. The World Health Organization is a global health institution there. Not sure how many countries are actually going to use it, but that was some great news, great PR, and apes loved it, and the stock goes up 11.5% today. Very nice. So let's go ahead and analyze here. So this appears to be a cup and handle in the making here. Top of the cup being about 228 and the bottom being 140. So that is currently a bullish indicator. That is telling us the stock should run back up to 228 to complete the cup. But after that, it should go bearish. But bullish at the moment. Cup and handle. So just some quick math off the top of my head. If this is in fact a cup and handle, this should top out at 230 approximately. And it should pull back to around 185 because that's approximately halfway between 230 and 140, the top and bottom of the cup here. So if you guys want to follow along, I have the link to the chart in the description down below. So right now this is sitting on the support of 217, which it finished at today. So if this goes to the upside, next levels of resistance would be 222, 228, 231, 237, 244, 250, 254, 257, 263, 268, 273, 276, 284, 291, 298, 305, 316, and then the high of 332. And if this goes to the downside, next levels of support would be 214, 210, 206, 200, 196, 190, 186, 183, 178, 173, 170, 166, 161, 155, 152, 149, 143, and then 140. There is support below 140, but we're not going to discuss that right now. So right now at this current price, 217, the channels to the upside and the downside are pretty decently sized, so expect a good amount of price action either way this goes. However, if/when this breaks 276 to the upside, the channels start to open up and get really wide. So expect a significant increase in price action if/when this breaks 276. RSI is currently at 62, so a little bit above average there, but nothing to be too concerned about just yet. And this did 11 million in volume today, which is above average, so significant volume. This pump today was confirmed by the volume. Okay guys, so just my opinion, not financial advice. Like I said earlier, I do think this has a little bit more upside potential. Probably going to top out at around 230 to complete the cup. And then I expect it to pull back halfway to 185 to complete the handle. So if you want to go long, not financial advice. It's really not a great play. There is some more upside potential here. You should be able to make a little less than 10%. But I really don't think it's going to go much further than 230 in the short term. So I could support going along here, although it's really not the greatest play. Kind of risky. Not too much upside potential, I would say. So if you just want to make a quick buck, then sure, I would say go for it. But please sell around 230. Now, if you want to go short, not financial advice, seems like a pretty decent play. Again, there should be a little bit more upside potential, but I would set your short orders to around 230-ish, because that's when the cup will complete. And then again, I expect it to pull back to 185. That'd be over a 20% downside, so pretty decent tendies to be made. Pretty decent downside potential. Again, not the best play in the world. Not the most money, not the most tendies in the world, but seems like a pretty decent play. So I could support going short at around 230, and please cover around 185. Again, because I think that's where the cup is going to complete and pull back to form the handle. But honestly, longer term, it does appear to be a pretty good play. This is a pretty legit vaccine stock here, and it should do pretty well as long as the C19 is around. So if you're in this for the long term, if you really believe in the stock, then 217 is a pretty decent entry if you're willing to hold. But even if you are in it for the long term, I would try to get this at around 185. That's a much better price. So congratulations to everyone who made money in this stock today. Consider taking profits if you're up, not financial advice. But like I said, it does not appear like there's too much more upside potential in the short term. So never a bad idea to take profits. And good luck to everyone currently in this stock and to everyone looking to take a position. This is NVAX Novavax. Thanks everyone for watching today. I appreciate you guys. Please like the video. Please subscribe. And catch me every weekday after market close on the Smarter Gambling Show. I'm Ty, This is Smarter Gambling. See you guys on Monday. Peace out.